Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle.
Mr. Rob O'Hara.
Sprite Castle.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Sprite Castle. On today's episode, I'm going to be playing the classic Broderbund game, Lode Runner. I guess it's Broderbund. I've heard people say Broderbund. I think it's Broderbund. Broderbund released Lode Runner in 1983. It was written by Doug Smith. It was ported to several different systems. Lode Runner is one of the few games that you will get me to admit is better on another system than on the Commodore 64 as far as 8-bit systems go, and I will explain why here in just a minute. As the demo here is running, you can see our star there, which is the little white character on this one. He's running around picking up these gold packages, and he's being chased by these little blue, which I believe are members of the bungling empire there. So let's go ahead and get started with Lode Runner. As you can see, I'm down here at the bottom, and I have a little magic laser gun. Whoops, I was too close to that guy. I didn't have the joystick in my hand when we started here. So, depending on which way I'm facing, if I press the button, I can shoot little holes here in the brick. The little holes will eventually fill up. And so if you can trap these guys, if you'll see here, I'll put 2 or 3 holes here and see if I can trap a guy for you. Sometimes if you go up a ladder or do something, then they'll change direction. Alright, so we'll get those guys to drop down, we'll run up, and we'll go pick up these packages. So, oh, that wasn't smart. So the goal of this game is to, or of each level, how about this? The goal of this game is to clear each level by picking up all the packages. So sometimes the packages can involve a little bit of puzzle solving to figure out how to get them. There's an added difficulty in the fact that these guys can pick up packages and run with them. And actually, when somebody's carrying a package, you can't tell. Now, there are multiple types of terrain. You can see these bricks that I've been running on, and you can dig holes in the bricks. So you can even stand on the guy and watch this. Haha. Now, the fact that I can't escape yet. Oh, there's the package up there at the top. So sometimes it's a matter of trying to figure out where the package is. Someone has dropped one off. Now, with those guys out of the way, I'm just going to run up here. Now, to beat the level, you actually leave the level through the top. And when you get all the packages, you'll notice that another ladder appears. I'm just going to wait this guy out. Go over here on this tightrope. And escape. And that is how you beat a level on Lode Runner. Lode Runner was insanely popular back in the 8-bit computer days, and so much for that there were sequels. There was Championship Lode Runner, which is basically the exact same game with additional levels. Oh, now here's one of those things I told you about. You don't want to go... see, I need to go get those packages down in the middle, but I don't want to do that because those guys are there waiting for me. So, a way around that, and I'll show you what it is here. Get that guy stuck. So let's drop down here, get those guys to chase me down here. I really don't want to kill these guys because I want to get that guy out of the middle. There we go. And I've just dropped another guy. Oh, he didn't go there, so there we go. Now I gotta run through and get these packages. Championship Lode Runner later on came with a Lode Runner level editor so that you could make and save your own levels, and that was a lot of fun. My dad and I used to play Lode Runner all the time, and we would make levels for each other. You had to have a copy of Lode Runner to play the levels, of course, but we did. Now this is where things are going to be a little tricky. There we go. Let's get that guy out of there. So, why do I like Lode Runner better on other systems? And there's a very simple reason. I first played Lode Runner on the Apple II, and Apple II joysticks support 2 distinct buttons. The Commodore 64 and many other systems only support 1 button because they support the Atari 2600 DB9 joystick port. So what does that mean? What that means is that in the Apple II version, oh, there's a guy there. In the Apple II version, because you have 2 buttons, the buttons map to digging left and digging right. In these versions, like the Commodore version, since there's only 1 button, basically you have to be facing the way that you want to dig. So, why that's difficult. On the Apple version, you can essentially run while digging holes behind you. And in the Commodore version, you can't. See, I have to stop and turn, and to face and dig behind me when I'm running. So, in the Apple II version, it's much easier to get these guys off your back because you can run while you're sitting there digging behind you and get them to fall into holes. So that makes this version slightly more difficult, not super difficult. I mean, but I'm going to show you an example here real quick. So if I want to dig through this level down here, what I have to do is dig multiple holes. And so if you notice, see, you can only dig next to yourself. You can't dig underneath yourself. So to do that, I have to move. I mean, you get it, I'm sure, but it's just a little bit more difficult when you have to face the direction that you're trying to dig. So anyway, this is basically Lode Runner. I'm not going to play all 50 levels, but I have. And probably will when I turn off the recording camcorder here. Over the years, Lode Runner was released in arcades. Lode Runner was released, it's been ported to lots of consoles, 8-bit, 16-bit. There's a version of Lode Runner available for the PlayStation. I believe Lode Runner has made it into some of the online gaming portals for either PlayStation or Xbox Live. There's lots of versions of Lode Runner out there to play. There's even online flash versions if you like those types of games. So, like I said, the Commodore version is okay. I won't say it's the greatest version, just because the limitation of only having 1 button makes it slightly more difficult than some of the other ports. But still a fun game, still worth playing, and that's pretty much Lode Runner. So, thanks for watching Sprite Castle. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out spritecastle.com. If you have requests or feedback, you can email them to me, spritecastle@gmail.com. And if you like retro-type shows, podcasts, videocasts, all that kind of stuff, be sure to check out throwbacknetwork.net. You can find Sprite Castle there, along with lots of other quality programs. So thanks for checking it out, and I will see you in the next episode.